my God. I don't know how the connection's going to be. Too close? What's going on? Where's everybody at? My eyes are crossing. What's up? You know, there's been some questions. Everything all right? There's been some questions. Like the other day I put up a video, an IG of, going to my mom's house. And someone was asking me, why do I play with my nose so much? It's because maybe I should change the angle. Because usually I shoot from here because I'm looking, and I can see boogers or something or hair or whatever. Then I get obsessed with it, and then I kind of use this as a mirror. I use you guys as a mirror to make sure my nose is clean. And I thought we were at that level. I thought we were at that place where we could do that, where I could just kind of pick my nose through an IG live with you. But it seems that some people were like, I don't get. Are you on coke again? No, it's got nothing to do with that. It's totally snot related. I don't think my nose is huge. I think my nose is fucking perfect. Character, gorgeous Roman nose. Perfect. So look, man, I had to change rooms. There's been some activity down here. To catch you guys up, I'm alone, so there's not a lot of excitement. It's just me with my new angle, looking up like this. Maybe I'll do one from my mom's house. We got a thing going later. There's a family thing, so that would be the full expanse. My brother, his girlfriend, my mother, her boyfriend, aunt and uncle, cousins. We'll see. I don't know if I want to let you in that much, Use whatever options you have at your disposal to maintain your sanity without hurting yourself or others. I will say this. Yeah, I changed the rental car right away. People are like, get baking soda, maybe clean it. I'm like, it's a fucking rental car. After I dropped my mom off, I went over to Hertz, and I just, when I get it in my mind that I'm gonna fucking, kind of make something right, I fucking do it. And it happened. Here's what happened. Tomorrow on the podcast is Nancy Wilson. But hold on, maybe I should show you what's going on here in terms of like this, because of the construction in my old room. Remember, I made that right. I've been making a lot of things right, big things. I've been like straightening out some shit. I've been fighting for justice. I got a better car. The guy was like, that car smells like garbage. He's like, I'll give you a new one. I'm like, straight trade? He's like, yeah, of course. I'm like, I'll take it. So I got a new car. In the room, like I was facing, like an entire hotel was being built outside of my window. And all day long, the beep, 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 beep. And they knew that. Don't you think the hotel should put that on their website? It's like, if you're going to be staying with us for these 3 years, you might want to ask for this other side of the hotel. Also, Trump is still president down here. That's just a given. But dig this. Hold on. Oh, shit. Oh, man, it's a little rough, right? It's a little much. God damn it, man. I was just funnier on here than I was on my intro. Maybe I should redo it. I told another story on my intro about people are in the water, man. I should go down there. I think tomorrow and Tuesday are going to be water days. I got family day today. My brother's coming down here in like an hour. I just recorded the show for tomorrow, and I have to write the update thing. But listen to this. I'll tell you this story, even though I told it, it wasn't luck. They had this room. The guy was like, look, I don't know if I can get you in another room. You know, I've got one on the bottom floor. And I'm like, nah, I'll just stay. I'll just suck it up. But I was mad. He goes, I'll tell you what, I'll waive the resort fee. And I'm like, okay, how much is that? It's like $50 a day. And I'm like, okay, that sounds reasonable. Oh, we do have this, one of the residences with water, oceanfront residence with views is available for the number of days you're here. That's the only thing I have. And I'll waive the resort fee. So like I can take that room. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, is there a price difference? And he's like, yes, because it's like an apartment. And I'm like, what's the price difference? And he told me, and it was not nothing. And I was like, fuck it. See, that's like, did I just get played? I mean, is that it? Do they wait? Should I be that paranoid? Do they wait for the guy who's going to complain about that other side, the lonely guy who's here by himself, clearly trying to get his brain together and dealing with things larger than, you know, what might be just a standard vacation? And when they go complain and try to make things right, they're like, we got one. But yeah, I'll waive the resort fee. But we do have the most expensive rooms in the hotel available if you want to do that. I'm like, okay, fuck it. I got no kids. I got no wife. I don't buy much. Why not spend the money on an overpriced hotel room? So I'm not going to leave the room. That's why I'm not even going to the beach. I'm just going to sit up here and look at this fucking ocean. But, so here's what happens. So, you know, I know I'm in Florida, and I know that, you know, I know body shame's not a good thing, but I can honestly say I think they could probably use more of it here. Is that wrong of me to say? But everyone seems to be kind of half following the rules. I mean, for the most part, people are wearing their masks. They're doing what I don't feel unsafe. Ooh, helicopter. I don't feel unsafe. So here's what happens. I'm keeping it together. I'll tell you this story, and then I got it right. But I'm keeping it together. And yeah, I'm seeing a lot of masks here. It's not just Southern Flab. This is like, these are people, who give zero fucks at the end of their lives. They're just people from all over the place. It's, Florida does not disappoint, and you can use that phrase for both things that are awesome and things that are incredibly horrendous. And I've grown to appreciate it because it's a densely populated clusterfuck of all different types of people. And the old people here, a lot of them are amazing because they've earned their insanity. And they, I saw a guy in like a unitard, like almost like a Speedo onesie on a tricycle, and he was like 90. And I'm like, there you go. That is the metaphor for what freedom in Florida looks like. This place is a goddamn lawless fucking free-for-all. I don't know how it works down here, but I know it's a handshake deal. I know it's a backroom deal. I know that this entire fucking state is barely tethered to civilized fucking activity. Anyway. Yeah, Trump's still president from a lot of these people. But that's all right. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. Some weird dreams, man. A lot of Lynn dreams yesterday because I was talking about it to my friend Dave. There's a little plane. So, I was doing good. I really thought that I handled the visit to my mother's house pretty well. And I thought it was a meditation. I thought it was like me coming into whatever, like, grounded in who I am, through heartache and isolation. But then, like, we go out to dinner. We're going to meet between here and where my brother is, and with his new girlfriend, and my mom and her boyfriend. We're all going to go to dinner. So I made the reservations because my brother said to. And then I had to change them because I didn't know if my mom's boyfriend was going to come. So he decided to come, so I changed them 6:30. And then, like, an hour before we're supposed to be at the restaurant, the seafood restaurant that someone told my brother's girlfriend about, well, we didn't have any credible, we don't know. Anyway, he calls me and said they're going to be late because she's got to pick up her kids. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to fucking deal with this shit. You fucking call mom. I'm not the goddamn organizer. I'm not going to be in the middle of this shit. I'm fucking done with this. So whatever shit I was keeping together, not so great. And I held on to that tone, all the way to the restaurant, because I told my mother, I'm like, I'm not driving up here in the night with John driving. I'm not doing that. All right, it's not happening. I'll just meet you there. I'll drive my own new car. That's very comfortable and pleasant. So I snapped, and I was mad because I'd already adjusted. There was no reason to be that mad, but I was that mad. So we decided to leave the reservations where it's at. It's not even family drama. It's just fucking me. Anyway, Craig says, just leave them and we'll get there when we can. Because he tried to change the reservation. They wouldn't change it to 7. Okay. So I drive up there by myself. I get there at 6:30. I'm going to meet John and my mother at 6:30. So I'm sitting there at the restaurant for a 6:30 reservation. She texts me, we're stuck at the bridge, yada, yada. It's going to be 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And then I just fucking lose it. I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. You're fucking ridiculous. It's all ridiculous. I'm leaving tomorrow. This is bullshit. I don't need this shit. I texted that to my mother. So they show up at 10 to 7. We get seated. I'm like, this is I made this fucking reservation. I just couldn't let it go, man. To the point where John, who's usually the cranky asshole, is like, why don't you just take it easy or have a good time? And I'm like, you're telling me that? You're telling me that? And then it was sort of like, look, the only reason I'm here is to, So anyways, Craig comes and he's scared, I'm sure he had me on speaker. I'd never met his girlfriend before. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck, man. Just get there whenever you can. So apparently he drove like a maniac. So they both get here and they're nervous. And she was like, he drove like crazy. I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to trigger that. I didn't mean for you guys to put your lives in danger to get to a place that you assume was not going to be that great fun anyways, given that your brother seems to be a fucking monster. But I'm a professional. Right when it was showtime, I was I was on. I was good. So here's what happens. Yeah, man-child for sure, dude. For sure, man-child. You know why I was a man-child? Because I was with my fucking mommy. That's what they take out of you. So this is now, no, it's not that much. So this is now like, and the Wi-Fi's okay. So we get this thing. We order this, platter, dude. Yeah, blew over. It was good. It was fun. We all had a good time. We could barely hear, and the food was terrible, which gets to the next story. This is like the 3rd restaurant. This is a seafood restaurant, and it's not good. Like, the crab meat looked weird. On the platter was a lobster tail, 6 oysters, 6 clams, raw, lump crab meat, and some shrimps. I don't love shrimp anyways. So the lump crab meat looks weird, right? And the lobster tail is warm on the chilled platter, right? And the clams taste fishy and kind of skank bad. The oysters were okay. shrimp was shrimp. But I'm like sort of like pissed because I'm like, I haven't eaten out a lot. And it's a seafood restaurant. And it was bad. They had this one dish that was good, and it was a vegan poke made with beets and avocado that was excellent. It was the only good thing that we had there all night. So, and the clams are bad, like I hope I don't fucking get sick bad. So I make, I tell the waitress, I'm like, the server, I say, this is bad. She's like, I'll send the manager over. I'm like, yeah, tell him this lobster tail is warm and this crab meat has no taste and it looks bad and these clams are fucking nasty. No one comes over for like 10 minutes. And the waitress comes back and she's like, I'm like, where's the fucking guy? Is he coming? He's like, I told him. And then the guy comes out and he's like, what's the matter? And I go, what's the matter? This fucking lobster is warm. He goes, well, sometimes we have to cook it to order. For a chilled lobster, you don't fucking cook lobsters and then chill them and then put them on. He's like, sometimes we have to cook it before. I'm like, so how does it get chilled? He's like, I don't know. Sometimes that happens. I'm like, this is your position? Now, like, these clams are bad. He's like, how can they be bad? We just opened them. I don't know. Maybe because they were sitting there too long. There's always seafood, unopened seafood, you can open it and have a disgusting present inside. And I'm like, and what's with this fucking crab meat? He's like, I tasted it. It's right out of the can. I'm like, oh, it's right out of the can. Did you just spill the beans or what? I mean, this is Florida. You're giving me fucking can. Like, it was a nightmare. And this guy goes, he says, well, what do you want me to do about it? And I go, I don't know, man. You seem pretty dug in. What do you want to do about it? He goes, you want me to take it? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, I'll tell you what, I'll give you oysters for the clams that, you ate. You mean the clams that we tried and almost puked up? So the guy he takes away the platter, sends out 3 oysters to make up for whatever. And I'm fucking, I'm not that guy. I'm not really the send back guy. Maybe sometime, maybe a little. But then, the other food's not great. My brother's scallops tasted frozen, overseared. The risotto was clumpy. It was just, not great. And it was loud out on the patio. And so I don't do this, dude. I woke up the next morning, and because I made the reservation online, the restaurant sent me a little, how was your experience survey thing? And so I answered, and I wrote down exactly what I told you. Basically, but at the end of me describing the food experience, I said, but you probably know all this, but you don't care because the location brings people in. So we'll punch, right? So I sent that off. And I don't do that shit, but I'm here, I got nothing to do. So I sent that off. And as I was sending it almost, my phone beeps that I have a voicemail. And I listen to the voicemail. It's the general manager of the restaurant, too close, calling to tell me they found my credit card on the floor in the patio of the restaurant. And I'm like, okay. So I call this guy. It's not the guy that dealt with the platter. It's his boss. And I go, hello, it's Marc Maron. He goes, yeah, hey, I go, you found my credit card? He's like, yeah, and I just read your review, and it was like a kick in the gut. I'm like, yeah. When you write those things, you're not expecting to have to reckon, right? You're not expecting to reckon with it. You just want to shoot it out, dump your little garbage and move on with it. But now I got the guy on the phone. He's like, I felt like I was kicked in the gut. And I'm like, oh, well, look, man, I'm telling the truth. I don't know what happened. He's like, I try to run a good restaurant. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what happened. Everything I wrote is true. He's like, I'm just trying my hardest. I'm like, I get it, man. He goes, I get fresh seafood 6 days a week. I'm like, I don't know what happened. Clams were terrible. He's like, those clams, they opened them. I'm like, I don't know how long they were sitting there. And he says, well, the lobster, sometimes we sell out of the lobster for the platter, and we got to steam up new lobster quickly. I'm like, it was 7. It was 7. It was 7. Beginning of the night, really. And he's like, and most crab meat you're going to get comes out of a can, almost all of it. And I'm like, put that on the menu. I don't know what to tell you. It was terrible. He's like, it's terrible you had this experience. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, there's a comedian with your name. And I'm like, I'm him. He's like, you're Marc Maron? You're that Marc Maron? He's like, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh man, my kids love you. I'm like, okay. Well, that's nice. He's like, yeah, they played your podcast for me, and they love you. I'm like, well, that's good. And I go, well, I'll tell you what, like, I'll come up there, I'll get the credit card, right? When can I come up? He said, I'm here now. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. And then maybe you and I'll take a picture, for the kids or whatever, So I drove up there, got the card, met the guy. His kids are in their 20s and whatever. He told me he's been in the business a long time. Blah, blah, blah. We took a picture, and and I went out of my way though, to tell him that that his staff was good, right? Except for the one guy who I don't think he should lose his job, but he should be maybe talked to about not digging in. Don't dig in on the fucking canned crab and the lukewarm lobster. Just take it off the fucking check. Which they did. The server brought us ice cream because she didn't want to be part of it. She's like, this is from me. I don't want to. And then ultimately he took it off the check. And he only charged us for the 6 oysters, that guy. Yeah. But, and then this morning, the owner of the restaurant wrote me an email. Like, is this going to keep going? And she's like, what's up? And I'm like, look, the staff was good. Maybe just an off night. Everyone was, Look, I mean, I think what happens, and I think I've talked about this before, it's like I think some of these places start out great restaurants when they have the chef in residence that design the menu. And then those guys generally leave within 6 months to a year. So then they have this menu that a chef created, and they hire a bunch of cooks to produce it. And eventually the love just gets sucked out of the place, and out of the food anyways. And, most people don't give a fuck. Too close? Use whatever options you have at your disposal to maintain your sanity. I'm not going to give the name of the restaurant. I feel okay. I went and finally met Sean yesterday. I met Sean Marshall online, and she's been kind of supportive through this last year, and we have common friends. But I went down to Miami and hung out with her for a few hours, and we shared a bone-in ribeye at what's that place called? What the fuck is wrong with me? The steak place. The one from New York with the green awning. God damn it. We ate outside. Oh, fuck. Smith and Walensky, right on the water there. And it was great. It was nice to finally talk to her and hang out. I met her kid. Talked about stuff. And then when I was there, did I read the reviews when we went there? No, we got it on a reference from, I'll look at it right now, I'm curious. On a reference from someone there's 4.5 stars from 1,994 Google reviews. 4.4, man. Smith and Walensky. No, I don't think there's a Peter Luger in Miami. The cats are great. I've got 2 people working on the cats. I've got someone staying at the house, and when she's at work, I got someone feeding Sammy in the middle of the day. And then sitting right next to us at fucking Smith and Walensky, some woman's like, I know you. I knew Mishna. You ate dinner at my parents' house in New York for Thanksgiving. Right when I first met Mish, probably in 2000, Mishna's good friends' parents lived, in a big apartment, Central Park West, when we went there for Thanksgiving. So it was like 21 years ago. It was this woman's sister. And she remembered and, got into that. It was very heavily emotional because her husband had lost his father from COVID. And, I had the Lynn thing, and we were talking about Mishna, and Sean has, her sadness. It was kind of like some kind of grief meeting. Yeah, Sean Marshall. Is she here? It was great. We had a nice time. Okay. I'm going to hit the beaches probably tomorrow. I'm going to do my writing, and then my brother is coming, and we're going to have a little lunch, and then we go to my mother's for some sort of family clusterfuck. Yeah, so that was kind of crazy, right? All right. This has been good, right? Maybe we'll do something later with the family. I don't know. Yeah, definitely the dream is connected to, because then I talked to my buddy Dave, who's up in Boca, for like an hour about the whole life. Everything all right? So you guys have a good day. I'll try not to get COVID. I feel like I should go in the fucking ocean. I'll see what my brother wants to do. Woof. Oh. Something is drawing me over the edge. I have to fight it today. Don't jump, it's going to be okay. Something is driving me over the edge. I need to fight it today. Okay. Take care, you guys. I haven't been exercising or anything. I'm just taking a full week off of all